This podcast was originally live-streamed on the NonSequitur show on YouTube. New episodes air weekdays, Monday through Friday, at 8 p.m. Eastern at youtube.com/nonsequitur show. Make sure you never miss a live stream by visiting www.nonsecshow.com/schedule. For the latest news, polls and updates throughout the day, follow us on Twitter, @nonsecshow or facebook.com/nonsecshow. That's NONSEQ show. If you'd like to get exclusive content, bi-weekly private hangouts with Kyle and Steve, backstage access to chat with guests after shows hosted on your channel and much more, become a Patreon saint of NonSequitur. It ensures we continue to improve our show and brings you into the process at the same time. Visit patreon.com/nonsequitur today while the limited spots are still available.
The following podcast is intended for those who believe bold ideas are righteous, unique perspectives are gospel, and strong opinions are sacred. This is Non Sequitur. Never follow. And now, here are your hosts, Kyle Curtis and Steve McRae.
And we're live.
Happy Sunday, everybody. Happy Sunday, everybody. We're gathered here today, both those who believe in a geocentrist and those who believe in a heliocentric model, to witness yet another debate on the shape of our world. This debate will feature two very prominent and very knowledgeable individuals who are at the center of this discussion. In one corner, Rhetoric, who has had countless debates, discussions, and presentations on the issue. He is no stranger to the confrontation, and he himself has even captured images of space rocket launches, the ISS in transit, passing the moon, and many more. And in the opposite corner, we have the founder of one of the largest Facebook groups, and he also made headlines by confronting a NASA employee in a Starbucks, Nathan Thompson. This debate is brought to you by, of course, NonSequitur. You can join us every Tuesday at noon for a brand new episode. That's on iTunes and your other favorite podcast platforms. This week, we are actually featuring an interview with Aaron Ra, who is no stranger to activism, barred approach. Now to explain how the debate is going to go and to give the rules, Steve McRae.
Hey, welcome,
Hello,
everybody.
Steve.
This is Steve McRae from the Great Debate Community and my own channel, YouTube, Steve McRae. Go ahead and check me out. What we're going to be doing today, we're going to be having a facilitated discussion between Rhetoric, who has his own channel, Rhetoric on YouTube, and Nathan Thompson. He has a group on Facebook called, can I give the name? Is that okay?
Yeah, of course.
Awesome. Official Flat Earth and Globe Discussions. So this is going to be a little bit of a back and forth dialogue, starting off with an intro between each one. Rhetoric is going to have 5 minutes to give an intro to himself. Nathan will have 5 minutes as well. Then they're going to give about a 5 or 10 minute little thing about why they think the Earth is round or flat. And then they're going to cross-examine each other and give negative evidence towards the other person's position and positive evidence for their own position. Rhetoric has decided to go first. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to them. So, Reds, go ahead and take it away. Give a little bit of information about yourself and tell everybody who you are.
All right, thank you. Yep, so my name is Red. I run the YouTube channel Red's Rhetoric. I am better known as that ugly fuck from Florida because my face is the reason why a lot of people are sick nowadays. All right, so being in Florida, that gets me really close to Cape Canaveral, which makes it a lot easier to collect my shield check, which for some reason I still haven't gotten. So I just want to say thank you all for watching this debate. But keep in mind, I hate using the word debate flat Earth. Because keep in mind, there simply is no debate. The round Earth model can easily be proven. And the reason why it can easily be proven is because the model that we built around the sphere Earth model comports with reality the best. It makes accurate predictions that anyone can verify for themselves. You don't need to come to me or anyone else for that. On the other hand, the flat earthers have tried to make many models that explain just the basics, and guess what? for just the basics of our everyday reality, they have failed on all accounts. In fact, the only way to make your model work is to say that other people are lying, then you're doing it wrong. And that's what I've seen from many flat earthers. Hopefully today will be a different story. But what I will go ahead and present when it's my turn to speak will be a few things. One, that we have 2 pole stars, that equatorial telescope mounts actually work. Those are also based on a sphere-Earth model. That the angular size of the sun remains the same, which would be impossible in a flat Earth, like it or not. And also, like it or not, curvature has actually been observed directly. And so when it's my turn to speak, you will hear all of that and probably more. We'll see how that goes. So with that, I turn it back over to you, Steve.
Cool. I don't know if it's Steve's turn. I was going to do my intro. Steve, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm just going to go. My name's Nathan Thompson. About almost 2 years ago, I started the official Flat Earth and Globe discussion. Almost 97,000 members in there. I've seen millions of posts and stuff people think proves the Earth is spherical. Yeah, I learned all the same sciences in school. The globe Earth test when I was in 2nd grade. So you're going to be re-educating me on stuff I've already investigated and stuff I've already looked into. I also don't like the term debate when discussing this because that assumes you know you're right and I know I'm right and we're going to convince each other. And it doesn't always work that way. So I'm hoping we can just have a friendly discussion. I heard some of your debate with Jeranism. I can't believe you're still going to use the Southern Pole Star argument, but whatever. So we'll just, I look forward to the debate, and I hope it's friendly, and I hope everyone enjoys it, and it's informative. I'm going to try and keep it as intellectual and, scientific-based, not faith-based as we can make it. Because I know, Red, you like looking up and thinking looking up proves the shape of what's down, but that's not necessarily the case. So I'm ready whenever you are, Steve, or if, Red, you just want to go into your proofs for the heliocentric model. I'm all ears.
All right. Thank you, Nathan. All right. So go ahead and why don't you give a brief overview of your evidence for a round Earth, not so much the heliocentric model, but the shape of the Earth. There's 2 different discussions there. So, Reds, go ahead and give a brief overview of your evidence. He'll give a brief overview of his evidence for a flat Earth. Is that acceptable?
That sounds good to me.
Good. Go ahead.
Okay, so I guess the first bit of evidence I'm going to go ahead and show is the angular size of the sun. Now, the reason why I want to go into this is because, like it or not, by looking up, you can actually verify what's beneath your feet. And not only that, but the shape of what it is beneath your feet. You see, on a globe Earth model, we expect the sun to remain the same angular size throughout the entire day. Opposite on a flat Earth model. So since I'm not actually going to give, flat Earth, at least not yet, I'm going to go ahead and show you my observation of the angular size of the sun because it's actually quite awesome, at least in my opinion. So let me know if you're seeing my screen share because my computer's been acting up and sometimes it just doesn't like to show what I like it to show. So hang on one second.
You are being presented now.
Being presented? All right, good. Let's go ahead and do this. So this is...
Yeah, you're good.
So this is a file. So let's go ahead and open this up. So this is a file with my observation of the angular size of the sun. As each picture was taken with the Nikon P900 with a solar filter. And each picture was taken on a clear day. The entire day was clear. One picture every 30 minutes roughly. As we go through the entire day, you will see it bounces around in frame, but the one thing that does not change is the size of the sun in the frame. And this is going from horizon to horizon. And there it is dipping behind some trees, so this is the end of the observation here. Now, when you're actually looking at this, there is a question that you need to ask yourself. The question you need to ask yourself is, why is this the case? Why is it that the sun remains the exact same angular size throughout the day? Well, I'm going to go ahead and assert that it's because the law of perspective kind of works in the round Earth's favor here. Law of perspective is simply alpha equals 2 times the arctan of g over 2r. Put very simply means that the sun is so far away that the shift in size is simply so small you cannot detect it. Flat Earth would be different, but we'll get into that later. The next thing I want to show is that curvature has actually been observed directly. Screen sharing again. You can go to Metabunk and look at the Lake Pontchartrain videos by Soundly. And you can see that here we see the transmission lines curving with the Earth as we would expect. And guess what? This was also taken with a Nikon P900. You can get them off of Amazon. And so you can see that the transmission lines curve with the Earth. Not only do transmission lines curve with the Earth, but so does the bridges that go either along or in the same direction as the transmission lines. And I'm hoping to go to Louisiana myself so that I can actually film this for myself. Explains what compressed perspective is and explains exactly how it works. You can read this yourself. And as you're going down, you can see that you can actually verify this yourself with some simple backyard experiments. Here's one with a pool cue. And a lot of videos that pretty much go along it, pretty much state exactly whatever it needs. So you can actually see that curvature has been observed directly. Now, I also have observed curvature directly, and I'm not going to play the video here, but if you want to, I'll bring it up on a link. I have observed ships disappearing over the horizon bottom first, as we would expect on a round Earth. Ships disappearing over the horizon has been seen since ancient times for people with good eyesight, but now that we have cameras that have absolute amazing zoom, this can be done by everyone, anywhere, anytime, unless it's raining or very foggy. And on a very clear day, I was able to observe this and see it. Like I said, I'll show you that later, but I'm going to move on to the next bit. Equatorial telescope mounts. Wolfie was very kind to post a bunch of videos explaining how a equatorial telescope mount works, and in fact has a reward out for anyone who can prove how an equatorial telescope mount works on a flat Earth. He is giving away a drone, a DJI Mavic Pro, to the first flat earther that can actually demonstrate how it would work on a flat Earth, but we'll get to that later. The fact of how it works is that it has everything to do with your position on the planet and in your relative position to at which angle you have to view Polaris at, southern celestial pole. And because of how it takes geometry into account to explain how it works, it's a perfect verificator as to say that if we are going to use tools and equipment to make accurate observations, what model do I need to base that on in order to comport with reality? What we choose to reference is the round Earth model in that case as well. And with all that, I also wanted to say one more thing that not many people go on, and that is that there are a few places on Earth that you can go where you can see far enough objects away, like, for example, Chicago. And the Chicago skyline mirage, as it was been, as one of the greatest proofs for a flat Earth. But one thing I wanted to say is that if the Earth was round, we would only expect those objects to be seen when atmospheric refraction or looming was present. If it was anything else, if it was actually flat, we would expect to see it all the time. But we simply don't. Why is it that only in certain circumstances we actually make those observations? You see, the fact that the horizon is there and at the distance relative to your height, your altitude, the fact that the horizon is there and that it exists and that comports with the mathematics of our spherical Earth shows that, once again, the round Earth is the accurate model to base everything on. And I could go more, but I'm going to leave it at that. I relinquish the rest of my time.
Awesome. Thank you, Reds. All right, Nathan, so what you're going to do is you have about an equal amount of time, but you need to give evidence now for your flat Earth position, and then you can go ahead and address what he has said, so and attack his position. But what is your evidence for your flat Earth, just like he gave evidence for his sphere Earth position?
Of course. Reds, I appreciate you taking the time to go into that. Evidence for the flat Earth is all around us. For example,